What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with a full Growlithe evolution team. We got Growlithe and Arcanine, and then Growlithe, Arcanine, Hisuian. So we got 4 Pokemon. The abilities they've got are Rocket, which is really cool as the Hisuian ability. And we've also got the other 3, which are Intimidate, Flash Fire, and Justified. So I'll be making use of all these abilities. Basically, I'll be putting one ability on each Pokemon, which is going to be super easy. We've got 5 battles today with this team, and I hope you enjoy. First battle here, this one is on the Poké Portal. Not really sure what my trainer name is. Well, what the trainer's name is. I know what my trainer name is. And we've got a Glimora lead. I can't believe I said that. I don't know what my trainer name is, people. Anyway, so we got an Arcanine lead here, and this is a special Arcanine. So this is a Hyper Voice Throat Spray set. I've got Fire Blast, Dragon Pulse, Hyper Voice, and Terra Blast Water. The abilities Intimidate, Items Throat Spray, and Max Special Attack and Max Speed Modest Nature EVs. So the Glimora is going to be doing what it does best, setting up the entry hazards. I'm going to be going for a surprise Terra Ward here and trying to get rid of the Glimora. Now, this team is actually very difficult to run because they've shared so many weaknesses, especially like water and ground were so difficult to get around, especially when people would bring like, you know, one really fast, powerful water or ground type Pokemon. It almost be like a guaranteed win for them. Anyway, that is going to be the end of the Glimora. Question of today, what do you think of Arcanine and Hisuian, Arcanine and Growlithe? Do you like these Pokemon? Let me know in the comment section of the video. And yeah, just watch a Magnezone get roasted. That was excellent. I was actually sort of hoping that it didn't have Sturdy, and it didn't at all, which is great. So we've got 2 Pokemon down. Next is going to be Clodsire. Now, I knew there was a chance it might have Water Absorb, but I thought, you know what? I'm just going to roll the dice anyway and have a go. Unfortunately, it didn't, and it's going to go for Earthquake. But I'm able to lift 3 of them, so I can go for a couple of Fire Blasts on the Clodsire. And it's actually doing all right damage. Now, Clodsire is going to have Yawn as well, so that's going to put me to sleep next turn. Now, I'm thinking, I don't think they're going to go for a... They may go for Recover the Cert, or they might attack me. I just went for Fire Blast again. I didn't have a lot to lose here, and they're going to go for Earthquake, which is fine. So Arcanine is going to be able to live that. I actually get critted, but I ended up living the crit, which is really cool. Now, if you enjoyed the videos, people, you like it, make sure you hit the like button on the video if you want to get all those notifications, not, you know, one of them in a blue moon. And, yeah, tell me about your thoughts on Arcanine Hisuian. I don't know, design-wise, I still think I like normal Arcanine a bit better, but Arcanine Hisuian's got a really nice ability of Rockhead, so I think that's an excellent sort of addition to it, because it's got a lot of moves that can be used with that. Next Pokemon here is going to be Growlithe. Now, Growlithe is a Choice Banded Justified set, so Justified is going to activate if I get hit by a Dark-type move, raising my attack by 1 stage. It was kind of hard to get it to activate. Anyway, so Toxapex is going to be swapping it. I went for a Raging Fury. That is a new move there coming from the Arcanine Growlithe Hisuian. This is a 120 base power fire move, physical, which lasts 2 to 3 turns to confuse the user afterwards. So this is based on, basically it's a fire outrage. That's what it is. So it's a pretty cool move. Still, most of the time the Flare Blitz is going to be better on the physical variant. So that's why I put it on my Growlithe for a little bit of fun. So now we got a Toxapex here. This is a very slight, look at this, hang on. Toxapex, Clodsire, and a Glimora? Like, that's absolutely disgusting. And a Magnezone too. I guess that Magnezone is their powerful, like, special attack. Anyway, this Growlithe, we'll go for this Growlithe first. This one has Stealth Rock, Fire Spin, Willow Miss, and Morning Sun. Got the ability Flash Fire, and item is Everlight. Max Health and Max Defense EVs with Bold Nature. So this was designed to set up Stealth Rocks, trap the opponent in with Fire Spin, and Will-O-Wisp to burn them. So it was better against physical opponents. Actually, funnily enough, some of the battles that I had throughout with this team, I actually shut down a couple of nice physical attackers, and they couldn't swap out. It was actually pretty good. So Toxapex is going to use Recover there, you know, surprise, and it's going to be trying to stall me out. Now, my other Growlithe, I didn't mention this is a Choice Band set. I had Max Health and Max Attack Item Nature. Retaliate, Close Combat, Raging Fury, and Wild Charge were the moves that it had here. But this was a difficult team just due to all the weaknesses. So this Toxapex is going to have Hex. So it's a Hexapex. That's actually not a bad name, Hexapex. If you've got Hexalay, and my Growlithe is going to be Faint, which is fine, you know. pretty much have a good idea how to get around this. The problem is my Growlithe can hit with Wild Charge, but it is locked in, and if they swap their Clodsire in, then they'll be able to heal. So I'm going to go for Wild Charge here. Excellent damage on Toxapex. Really, really good. I'm going to take some nasty recall, and now the Toxapex is going to go for Toxic. So at this stage, I'm thinking, okay, they're definitely going to go for Baneful Bunker the next turn, obviously. But then what are they going to do after that? Are they going to go into Clodsire? Are they aware that I've got a Choice Band from the damage I've dealt to them? Those are the two things that was running through my head. So I thought, all right, well, I'm going to make the swap here and go into Arcanine. That way I can just finish it off. And if Clodsire comes in, well, I should be able to finish them both off. So into Arcanine Hisuian, and it went for Recover instead. So what they were doing is just, spamming Recover and in hopes that I would faint to the Toxic and recall damage. That is not going to work against Arcanine Hisuian. So the moveset for this is definitely the best moveset on my team. We've got Muscle Band as the item, Wild Charge Terra Electric, which is perfect for water-type Pokemon, Flare Blitz, Head Smash, which is really, really powerful too. So really making use of that Rock Head there on the first three moves, and the last move with Extreme Speed, because it was just handy to have some priority on this team. Wasn't like an overly fast team. So my EV spread was Max Attack, Adamant Nature, and Max Speed. So hitting a really nice attack stat there, and still has, reasonable speed. So Toxapex is really trying to stall me out here with the Baneful Bunker, doing what it normally does. And I was still confident I could get around this because I wasn't choice locked and I still had a bit of time. So Wild Charge is going to be my best bet to go for it. They went for a second Baneful Bunker, but it didn't work. And that is going to be the end of the Toxapex. It definitely feels good fainting a person like constantly stalling. Last Pokemon here is going to be the Clodsire. Now, even if Clodsire had Protect, I should be okay. I'll try and think what it could actually do in this situation. I'm just going to go for a Flare Blitz here. Now, it's going to take a bit of damage with the Stealth Rocks, and with the Flare Blitz, that is going to be enough to take it out. And that is the end of the first battle. I'll say at least the opponent did bring 4 Pokemon along, so they didn't bring their entire team. And when I use 4 Pokemon, I never really expect the opponents to bring 4. Like, it's like, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. Next battle, this one is against Red-Eye question mark. I don't know. This is a random battle on the Poke Portal, and we have a Pawmot lead. So I've got my little Growlithe lead here. It's going to go for Fake Out. It's not going to do a lot of damage. I'm very, very defensively invested there. Max health, max defense. And now they're going to go for a close combat. That does a really good chunk of damage to my Everlight set. It's going to be a 2-hit KO. Now, on this turn, I was thinking maybe I should go for Stealth Rock. That could be handy. However, we got an eject pack there, and a Azumarill comes in. Now, I decided at the last moment to change my mind to Will-O-Wisp, and I'm very, very glad that I did, because obviously Azumarill is a very, very easy counter to my team. All they have to do is press the A button with their face. So Azumarill's going to be swapping out, and we've got a Ditto coming in. So Ditto is going to transform into my Growlithe, which is pretty funny. So there's 2 Growliths on the field. So I went for Stealth Rock on this turn because I figured that Azumarill might just go for a Water-type move and faint me anyway. And if it didn't, well, I'll bring something back in. So I swapped the Growlithe out. I might be able to make use of that later, and I'm going to go into my other Growlithe. So this is the Choice Band Growlithe. Now, I had a feeling they might use Stealth Rock too. That's why I swapped Growlithe in. So now I'm looking at my team like, well, I can't really go for any other moves than close combat, I guess. So let's go ahead and go for that. Unfortunately, they swapped in Oricorio Sensu. I don't think they predict that at all. I think that was just like pure luck. They went for that. And I'm choice banded, so I had to swap out. So I went back into my Arcanine here, obviously my normal Arcanine. And this one is going to be a special set. So I'm going to take some Stealth Rocks, and I've got Intimidate. Obviously, I doubt they'll be running a physical set because I've used all standard moves so far. So this thing is going to get a Quiver Dance up, and they're going to get a boosted Special Attack, Special Defense. However, they swapped out. So I was like, okay, I wonder what they're going to do now. So then they went into Ubi or Ubi. I don't even know what that means. So I'm going to go for Fire Mist here. Fire Blast is going to cook that engine, and it has got a one-shot Revovaroom, which is awesome. So I guess they didn't expect a special archive. Next Pokemon is the Pawmot we seen from earlier before. It's going to take some Stealth Rock damage here. I'm going to go for Fire Blast there, and that is going to be enough to take them out. I guess if they had Focus Sash, it was gone due to the Stealth Rock, and they wouldn't be able to use like Revival Blessing either, which is good. So now you watch this. The Ditto swapped in here, got the Imposter. It's going to copy my stats. So at this stage, it's like, all right, well, I don't really do much damage to this outside of like maybe Dragon Pulse or, you know, or Terra Water. That's about it. And I was thinking, well, I guess I can use that. Maybe keep it for the back instead of using it up now. So we got a Terra, and it turned out the Ditto was Terra Ground. You wouldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that was such a lucky Terra to get because it's super effective against my entire team. Arcanine lived on a slither of health there, and I got a little bit of damage with Hyper Voice off. It wasn't very much, though. I'm going to get Throat Spray here. I'm assuming that the Ditto has probably got Choice Scarf on it, so I'm going to get outspared anyway. And another Terra Blast Ground is going to take out my Arcanine. You wouldn't read about, like, that was a very, very lucky, I guess, a Terra to have there. I mean, it's not a bad Terra to run, but it wouldn't be my first Terra I'd pick on Ditto. Next Pokemon is Growlithe, so I was like, this is desperation hours. I'm going to have to go for a Terra Normal on my Growlithe. Now, this Growlithe was max health. I thought it might just be able to live this because this is a special Arcanine I'm versing, so obviously it's nowhere near as good as a physical Arcanine, you know, whatsoever. So here comes a Terra Blast Ground again. I was hoping that I could live this and just get a close combat off there. The little Growlithe is going to live, which is awesome, and now I can go for close combat, and that's going to be enough to take out the Ditto, or the Ditto disguised as a Arcanine. So bye-bye Arcanine and bye-bye Ditto. So, you know, Ditto is always a very dangerous Pokemon because it can copy any stats and, you know, moves and stuff like that. Next Pokemon is Azumarill. I was like, all right, well, they're just going to go for probably an Aqua Jet or something. I lived on 6 health here, and I got the close combat off, and it didn't do very much damage, and then they rage quitted. So that's the end of the second battle there. A salty baby bottle. I guess they expected their Azumarill, you know, to take out my Growlithe there, and yeah, I would have cleaned up the rest of their team pretty easily. Let's get on to the third battle there. This is against Danny. This one was also a random Pokeportal battle. Now, I gotta say this because this is really funny. My opponent had 6 Pokemon, all right? And I noticed in their team preview, there was 2 water Pokemon. So I was like, all right. I was thinking this to myself, like, if this person wants a really good challenge or an even battle, what they'll do is they won't bring 2 water Pokemon. They should just bring the other 4 Pokemon. So what do? They bring both the water Pokemon, but they bring 4 Pokemon. It's like, it didn't matter that you brought 4 Pokemon. You've got 2 water Pokemon. Anyway, I just thought that was hilarious, right? They just bring the 2 biggest counters. So we're going to have the Growlithe dropping, and now I'm going to go into the Hisuian Arcanine. Now, this is a definite reason why I had this on my team. I really need it because people were spamming water Pokemon left, right, and center. So we're going to go for the Wild Charge, Terra Electric, outspeeding the Kyogre, and that is going to be enough to take it out in one shot, which is really, really good. So that's, you know, that's an easy counter for them gone. All they had to do is press the A button there. However, it doesn't end. Next Pokemon to come in is going to be saved by I smelled a Ratty. I was like, this is probably going to be Willow Miss or something, some sort of annoying status move. So I'm going to swap it out. I really kind of need that against the other water Pokemon. So I went to Growlithe, and it's going to be a Metal Burst set. So I was like, yeah, that probably would have lived that, I'd say. So Safeway is going to swap out here, and in comes another water Pokemon being the Golduck. So Golduck, if this does have Swift Swim, which I'm very sure that it would, is going to be a very, very easy counter for my team too, because it's super effective against all of them. So now the Golduck's going to go for Nasty Plot because they needed another boost against a team that's entirely weak to water, and I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp here, burning the Golduck. So obviously it's not going to be a physical set; it's going to be a special one. So now Golduck is going to be able to easily fake me here. I've got I think I've got like Stealth Rock or Fire Spin I was thinking to go for. There was a Psychic instead. I guess they underestimated the bulk of my bulky Growlithe, and I managed to get a Will-O-Wisp off, which is really, really cool. So I was like, unless they've got Hydro Pump as their other move, so they've got like an inaccurate water move, that's probably like the only reason they did that. Or they thought that, I'll be able to take a baby Growlithe out like super easy. So that's a second Psychic. That is the end of the Growlithe there. Not really much I could have done there. I didn't have much play at all. So I'm thinking we still got the rain going. Let's go into my other Arcanine. Let's see what water move it's got, if it's got one. I'm sure that it does have one. So dropping its attack again, which is not going to mean anything. And there we go. So my question was answered. They did have a water type move, and it was Hydro Pump. So another easy KO there for my opponent. Now, the rain has now stopped, which means Swift Swim has deactivated. So now I can send in my Arcanine. There's no more Kyogre to set up the Drizzle, and I can go for the Wild Charge here. So that is going to be hitting really, really hard, taking out the Golduck. So both their counters are now gone. The bad thing is now I'm down to my last Pokemon to get rid of them. So now they've got an easy Sableye swap in with Will-O-Wisp. So now the Will-O-Wisp, funnily enough, is going to miss here, which is pretty funny. So I got one turn to actually try and feint the bet. I know that Sableye's, I know Sableye very well. I know it's bulk. I was like, this is probably just going to live, and it did. So unfortunately now they're going to be able to get the Will-O-Wisp off. I'm sure they've got Recover on this as well. Or something like Pranks to Recover. Even if they don't, me being burned is, you know, extremely detrimental there for a physical user. So I just went for Flare Blitz. That's the end of the Sableye. And there was one other Pokemon left there on their team. Because it was a 4v4 battle, but they brought 2 waters. Anyway, next Pokemon is Big L, and that is the Gengar. I don't know why they called it Big L for. It was a Big L bringing 2 water Pokemon, I guess. Here comes the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball doesn't take me out. I actually just went for Wild Charge, hoping for a crit. I almost took the Gengar out. It was very, very close. I got Curse Body, which doesn't matter anyway, because Gengar is going to be able to fight me here. And that is the end of the battle. I'd say I 100% would say I would have won that battle if they didn't bring both water types. I think they only really won that because they brought 2 water types. But anyway, thank you, Danny, for the battle there. And let's get on to the 4th battle. This is a battle against Kai. We have a Overquill as the lead here. Now, Overquill's a pretty cool Pokemon. Speaking of Overquill and Hisuian Pokemon, I will be doing another Moveset guide tonight after this video. I'm sort of been going through the one today, so I hope you've been enjoying those for the people that do watch the Moveset guides. Trying to get all of them done, so we're doing like one of them a day. For a little bit. So anyway, Overquill's going to go for like a weaker move there. I just went for a Will-O-Wisp and I burned it because, you know, most of this thing is going to be a physical set. So now I'm poisoned. I was like, okay, well, I guess it's going to go this little Bar Barrage attack there, because if you get hit by a Bar Barrage, it does double damage, but with a Will-O-Wisp, it's not going to do anything at all. And plus, I resist that, and plus, I'm running like a bulky defensive set, so it's going to do like nothing to Overquill. To Growlithe. So there wasn't a lot I could do here. I was like, well, I'm not going to win this matchup, but I could try and... Actually, no, I was thinking I could win this matchup because I've got Morning Sun. I can stall it out, and Bar Barrage is virtually doing no damage at all. So I went for the Morning Sun because Fire Spin was still doing good damage here, and I could, you know, simply just do that. And I was like, well, I can set up Stealth Rocks here. I've got like another turn. This should be right. So now it's going to go for another Bar Barrage. It's not going to do anything at all there. I think Bar Barrage is it's a pretty cool move, actually. Virtually, it's just a physical Venoshock if you want to look at it that way. Then they had the Aqua Tail. I was like, why did you have Aqua Tail this whole time and not use it? So maybe they expected me to go for a Terror or to swap there. I'm not really sure. But anyway, that's the end of my Growlithe. It got wrecked. But at least I managed to burn the Overquill. So next Pokemon is Arcanine. I'm just going to scream at it, and that's the end of the Overquill. I'm going to be getting my special attack boost there. What I would have done, I probably would have just got into one of my Arcanines after this if it had Aqua Tail and just, you know, straight up probably just tear my Hisuian Arcanine. So in comes the Bravo. It's going to take a bit of Stealth Rock damage. I'm just going to go for Fire Blast here. And Fire Blast does really good damage taking it out. Like, Arcanine doesn't have a bad special attack stat, especially at plus 1. Next Pokemon is going to be the Sneasler. So Sneasler is going to go for Dire Claw. Dire Claw is a really, really good move because the thing about Dire Claw is you just don't know what's going to happen, you know, and it's got a 50% chance of getting those statuses. So I went for Fire Blast, and that was enough to take it out. So like, man, this is really cool. My opponent did bring 4 Pokemon as well, which was good of them. So it made, you know, at least made the battle, you know, sort of like at least even, you know. So here comes the Basculegion. Like, yeah, this is a problem. I guess this is why they only brought 4 Pokemon, right? Because they had a Basculegion in the back. I'm sure it has a water move and last respect. So we've got a Terrago set, and I was like, well, I can't really do too much here except go for Fire Blast. It's going to be having Aqua Jet. I'm sure that is adaptability, and that is the end of my Arcanine. So, all right, fair enough. I guess I can swap in one of my other Pokemon. So I decided to go into the Growlithe here. And this Growlithe, I just went for Raging Fury. Now, Growlithe actually leaves the Aqua Jet, which is pretty funny because I was running max health. I got the Raging Fury off with the Choice Band, and that was enough to take out the fat... It's not even a fat fish. It's not chubby at all. Anyway, that is the end of the Basculegion. I got a crit there. I don't know whether that crit mattered because I was Choice Band, and yeah, that's a powerful move there. But anyway, that is the end of the 4th battle. Thank you, Kai, for the battle. Let's get on to the 5th battle. This one is against Mail, and this is on the Poké Portal too. Now, this person had an entire team of legendaries, and they only bought a Regidrago. I was like, are they going to quit this battle, or they just think that they only need one Pokemon? So then they tear it on the first turn. I'm like, okay. I think they believe they can beat my entire team with one Pokemon. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's see if they can. I'm interested. So let's see what they're going to do. So they're going to go for Terra Dragon. I was like, yeah, I know what they're going to do. So pretty much, I nearly called it Dragon Algae there. Reggie Drago, I don't know how I messed them up, is going to go Dragon Energy. So this move is based on, it's basically it's a dragon version of Eruption and Water Spout, and it's based on how much health you have. So the more health you've got, the more damage you'll do. So straight away, I swapped in Arcanine, and I went for Extreme Speed. Whether or not this is going to be enough to be able to live the attack was another thing too, because it is still going to be a pretty powerful move with Terra behind it too, and it's got a high base power. So Arcanine is going to get one shot of there. I was like, wow, I have 2 Pokemon left. Like, I don't know whether my Growlithe is going to be able to live this either. I know it has Everlight, but damn. So I was like, well, I'll just go for Fire Spin. Here comes another Dragon Energy, Terra Dragon Energy on my little Growlithe here. It wasn't special defenses, so it is going to get dropped. So I'm like, all right, I've got my Arcanine left here. I was going to actually swap this in earlier, but I was thinking, well, I guess I'll just go for Dragon Pulse. Intimidate, we got up there, and I actually went for the Terra here too. So this is the Terra Water. I was still thinking that it didn't really matter that much. In case I had another coverage move, I just went for Terra Water anyway. If it hits me with that full power move, I don't think my Arcanine was going to live. That was my thought process anyway. So I went for the Dragon Pulse, and I outspeed, which is called Dragon Pulse, almost takes it out. Are you ready for the most powerful Dragon Energy in the history of Pokemon? Ready? Watch this. It's pretty funny. Here it comes. It did like 2 damage, and then I went for a Disrespect Terra Blast Water, and that is the end of the game. Now, if I led with that, I would have beaten them. So next time, little Timmy, you need to bring more than one Pokemon, all right? I hope you learned a valuable lesson in this battle. And that's all. That's the end of the Growlithe Evolution team. I hope you really enjoyed it. I'll be back with a moveset guide a little bit later on. Peace out, people.